Welcome back, everybody, to Thanks for Your Concern. You're here with Berenice.
And I'm Ella. Welcome back. I was going to sing, but we're not doing singing anymore.
I can tell I don't feel like there was ever singing, but that's okay. Just we're gonna just jump straight into a check-in. Ella, how you been? What you been up to?
You know what? It's the spring is springing, so that's a bonus. That's like a plus. Is that we got spring
It is.
going. And I got a little bit of a burn. If you're listening to this, know that you can see this on YouTube. Okay, a little PSA. We have YouTube. You can watch it on YouTube. I am a little burnt. I would like to say I used the Fenty face sunscreen. My face isn't burnt. My neck isn't burnt. But the body sunscreen, I kind of forgot about it. Okay, so I got a little bit of burnt.
Yeah.
It's man. It was like, do I need to put on sunscreen to go on a little walkie walk? I guess I did. Global warming is global warming.
Yeah. You also haven't taken a vacation and you live in Seattle, so this is like the first real sun exposure. I'm still working that Miami tan line, baby. Like, it's still going strong. But we're gonna even her out soon.
Yeah, I need to find a nude beach in my area.
A nude beach? I know of a couple. You want? Actually, one time because I used to go in high school, but I only went like right after school, so I guess that's like never with the nude adults came to the beach because they were like working. And a few years ago, I was like taking my friends to this like private little beach, and I just saw so many old saggy man balls that I was like, I totally forgot this was a nude beach. Like, this was not what I was expecting. This is not the vibe. This is supposed to be like a cute little friend thing. But I'll let you know. It's Jenny Blaine in Seattle.
Well, I just, I need to get the timelines out before the Chicago vacay.
Yeah, so. Maybe go like earlier on the day.
But I actually have a lot of PSAs today, okay? It is Mental Health Awareness Month. So, we love people who are mentally ill on the podcast, and...
we are mentally ill. It's okay. Join us.
Yeah, so I've actually been going to this new therapist, and she's very dope, and I feel like it was like this lesson learned. The reason why I quit my last therapist is like I just felt like I wasn't getting a lot out of it, and what I should have done was quit and then get a new therapist, right? Because my new therapist is pushing me in ways that I'm like, okay, this is what I was looking for. Shout out, so I was like, okay, if you don't like your therapist or therapy's not working and isn't productive, maybe change it up, okay? So that's the mental health awareness thing. Another health-related thing, you guys, I got a pap smear, okay? And I don't know why, but I thought they were painful.
Pap smears? I think that they can be for some people because they, like, open up your cervix?
Yeah.
Maybe? To get in there? It feels uncomfortable for a sec, but it feels like getting an IUD. Like,
I think it's a little less painful for an IUD than an IUD. Yeah. But I was under the impression that it was a very painful process, and I found it to be not uncomfortable at all. And I was talking to my doctor about it, and she was like, "Oh yeah, like things have kind of changed. Like it's one of those things we figured out, like you didn't have to take as many cells as you needed and stuff like that. So science,
we love
right?
Science.
Yeah. And I actually got an abnormal test back. I'm gonna be fine, but I do have to proceed with caution, and just be more regular about it on like a super strict basis. And I would have never known that if I had continued to avoid it because I thought it was painful. So I just wanted to share that with everybody.
Oof. Well, I'll be right on that train with you. It's time for some checkups for me. So, but I'm glad you're okay.
Yeah, and they do them at Planned Parenthood for free if you're uninsured or low insurance. So there is options because I know that healthcare is crazy in this country. But I thought I'd do my little PSA since I have the platform.
Period.
What about you? What's going on? How's springtime in New York?
Springtime is also springing over here. The weather's been awesome. My childhood long-term relationship, now best friend, came to town, and honestly we went on like a 4-day bender that my body was just not ready for, because I went from like outfit making to like, and now your friends are here, so party. And I honestly kind of impressed myself for my rallying abilities, but then I was also like, I'm tired. Like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Like, I don't know if I
Yeah.
can keep up with this lifestyle anymore. But tons of fun. I think, I don't know, when people visit me, I have been in such different parts of my New York life. I feel like at the beginning, like I was just meeting people, and then in the middle, it got a little rocky because I wasn't doing so well in the head. And now I just feel like I'm chilling, like I'm coasting, you know? And so she came, and I was able to just kind of show her more of my lifestyle. I don't think we went into the city maybe one time, but one thing that I didn't know about my best friend of like 11 years was that she loves Titanic. Like, I knew she loved Titanic. I just didn't know how much she loved
The
Titanic.
movie or the
She
historical
could
event?
all of it.
Oh, okay.
The entire thing. So we ended up watching the movie. She could recite every word. We ended up going to the Titanic exhibit because there's one in New York. And I hadn't seen the movie in a while, so we went to this exhibit, and I was like looking at all this old shit. And then I had to go watch the movie, and I was like, oh, I get it. I get it. You know, and then I look over, and like she's crying, and I'm like, how many times have you watched this movie? And she's like, I don't know. I watch it at least once a month, and I'm, you know, still hitting her heartstrings. So that was a really good experience. I really didn't know she was that enthusiastic about the Titanic, nor that there was a niche for the Titanic that was that big. But it is pretty interesting, and the exhibit was pretty
Well,
cool.
that's fun.
Yeah. But no crazy things over here. I did do the thing that I do, and I did decide to verbally commit to going to Beyond Wonderland, which is like another music festival.
Mhm.
The week after a music festival, I'm going to in Orlando. Which, like, the thing about me is, like, you give me a sip of alcohol and a plan, and I'm like, I'm there.
Yeah.
So actually, it's all kind of lining up. I don't want to speak too soon until it's like locked down, but I'll be back to backing music festivals, and I'll be coming home in June.
Fun.
So I'm excited. Yeah. But shall we get into the episode? Because I'm excited for this one.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be juicy. So let's do it.
All right, friends. So today we're talking about dating, infatuation, crushes, and calming the fuck down, okay? Sometimes we get a little too excited, and we just take a little breather.
Yeah, baby. Dating and calming the fuck down. Okay, let's start. Do you want to start with crushes?
Crushes. It's like the best part of any romance is where you like somebody, but you don't know anything about them, and everything is just pure fantasy and like anything your imagination can concoct, that they might be a decent human being, that they might be the loveliest of humans, that they might be your soulmate.
You know what's crazy? I have like a total, like, I don't even like having a crush because I feel like it's a stranger. You know what I'm saying? I like the part when you've gone on like 10 dates with someone and you feel like you kind of know them. Because, like, for me, I think everyone is a murder, serial killer, psychopath. So I don't like a crush. I feel like, is this going to be fatal attractions?
Yeah. I think with a crush, I turn delusional because usually I'm pretty like on flight or flight when it comes to like dating people. But if I have a crush, I forget how to talk. Like, I get nervous. I get giddy. Like, I'm such a lover girl that does the thing. Like, I be romanticizing the shit out of randos. And there really isn't anything that special about them other than the fact that, like, I cut a bug, you know? And I love attention. So when somebody matches my energy, I'm like, let's hang out all the time, every day, all day.
The funny thing about crushes is I literally think, well, I don't think everyone has a crush on me, but specifically at the gym, I'm like, oh my God, just ask for my number already. You've been staring. But they might just be like wanting to use the machine I'm at next. But to me, they have like, they're infatuated. They're in love. And they just need to like pull the trigger.
You know, I do have to go to the gym to make sure all my gym crushes are okay. I did go back after a 2-week break, and I felt like I was part of the team. So many men came up to me, and I was like, damn, if you were all to donate $100 a month. You could all pay my rent, and I could be here all the time working out with you guys.
You should start a
Things to think about,
campaign. Maybe people would be down. You might know, like just a small contribution. I don't know if that's really been
For a
done.
small contribution.
It's like you don't have to be a full ass sugar daddy. You can just be a part of the sugar daddy fund.
Yeah,
Crowdsource.
So maybe I'll work that in.
I went to a new gym. And I was feeling very much like I went to this gym by a university, and I was like, oh my God, these boys are so young. Like, it kind of just gave me like the oogie boogies because like,
the oogie boogies.
I don't know, like I used to be attracted to like 18-year-old boys. Like I was 18 at the time, but they look so young. And when I was that age, I thought 18-year-old boys looked like what Leonardo DiCaprio looks like now, even though he's 50. Like in my mind, that's what late 18-year-olds look like when I was 18, and then
they look like
little dweeby babies.
Yeah.
It was a lot,
but I think that's like a thing that means we're normal.
I know, but it was a lot easier having crushes when you're younger because it's like you're just a little bit less jaded. Dating when you're older is a little harder.
100%. Dating as you get older, the grass isn't always greener, man. I think something about dating when you're younger, like when people have been dating their significant others since they were like 16, like you still got part of their 16-year-old version. As sometimes people get older, I swear to God, these men just get more manipulative. They just catch on with the times. They catch on with technology. They catch up with the sneaky little ways. And I'm just like, this isn't it. Like maybe I should have tried to steal something in at 15. Like maybe that was the way to do it.
I mean, oh God, this is actually, I could have put this in my update, but I forgot. So I have a 10-year high school reunion.
Oh
this
no.
year.
Oh no. Are you going?
Well, I don't know if you know this, but if you're in the senior class associated student body or like student government senior year,
you run it.
Then you run it. So I was sent a little like, hey, like if you have time to help out with this, please let us know. And I was like, I'm running like 6 different businesses. None of them are profitable. I don't really have the time right now. Okay. But
I'd claim my amnesia. I'd be like, I got into a terrible accident. I actually don't remember any of my earlier years, so I will not be.
Well, I actually,
because I think
if my memory serves, I ran 4 years, and I lost 4 years, and then and then I think someone like dropped out in the middle of the school year to go do full-time classes at college. So then I got to step up into the position. So I was like, they didn't even elect me. I feel like a false fucking member of this party. I just stepped in when someone else dropped the ball. Why don't you at her? What's she doing now?
Well, maybe you can catch up with some of your high school crushes if you end up
Well,
going.
I was thinking that probably am going to go with a lot of stickers, business cards.
Full networking event.
Babes, do you guys have TikTok? I have like 4 TikTok accounts, not just me, but like I could really juice this one. So I think I'm probably going to go purely for networking. And also I'm so hot. So that's also just a huge bonus, to all the men that turned me down in high school. It's like, wow, she's just aged so finely. Like, I wish I had taken the chance when I got it. Now she's older and wiser, and she knows what the bullshit.
I mean, I've been thinking about that. I didn't get my woman body until, honestly, like a few years ago.
Yeah. I mean...
So, we all be looking different, and I get that. But the thing is, I think in the olden days, people use high school reunions to be like, the one that got away, to reconnect. But now we have social media. You know what I've been up to for the past 10 years. Like, we don't need a whole reunion for you to...
That is a good point.
You've been you've been MIA and following me and silent stalking me for 10 years. What am I going to do at a reunion? You could just hit me up. Like, it's weird.
I hadn't thought of that. That is true.
As I have been getting older with the dating scene, you have to decipher through a lot of bullshit. I honestly, sometimes I think about, damn, maybe I should have stayed in my relationship because at least I wouldn't have gone through some trauma. But what I have learned is really listening to people and what they say they want. you know, because people sometimes when you have a crush, you oversee that shit so quick. They could tell you like the biggest fucking red flag, and you're just like, yeah. So like, what? Are we going on a date? You know, when you literally it just passes your mind
Mm-hmm.
that what they said was just like the most toxic fucking bullshit, or they're out here calling their ex crazy, or that they're out here saying. I remember one time I was on a date and I asked this guy, um, I was like, "Oh, has any girl that you've dated like try to homie hop with your like any of your friends like in front of you after you know cut things off?" And he was like, "No, but if she like if somebody did, like if somebody did that, I just go hit on somebody hotter than her." And I was like, okay, this man is toxic. I have to get out of here. Like I laughed because it was like so absurd. I was like, he's like in his 30s and he just told me the most toxic. I gotta go.
You know, it's very interesting. You said it's like people that are like, yeah, you get to the age where you're dating men in their 30s and you kind of forget that. Like you give people the benefit of the doubt and then you forget, wait, this dude's a grown ass man. This dude is 30 years old and he's talking crazy like he's 18 about listening to what they want. I think I take it a step further and see if what they say they want aligns with like what they're doing or how
Mm,
they conduct themselves. Because I've
yeah.
had situations where, you know, a dude will be like, oh, like, yeah, I'm super ready to settle down. Like, you know, I want to just settle down, have a partner, build a life. But they're like partying with their boys every weekend and they have like a roster. And it's like, that doesn't really align in my mind. That doesn't
Mm.
really compute that you're ready to settle down.
Listen, I don't understand like men mentality. Okay, I knew somebody that was actively like had a full on roster and low key a girlfriend in a different state, and they're getting married. And this was like it from him like moving from him living by me and seeing him with his roster up to the point where he moved to the city that she was in, up to the point where they were engaged, was like a few months. Like this man, he knew he was gonna propose to his girlfriend at the time, who he was not claiming as his girlfriend, and still had a full on fucking roster. And now it's like a year later, and they're about to get married, whole shebang.
That is like spooky.
How? That's that's too much. I trust nobody, okay? And yeah, the I don't know. Some of those voices in your head that are telling you something isn't adding up or something may not seem right. I think you should listen to
I
them
think so
because
too.
as delusional and like me knowing my worth and knowing that like I'm the most special beautiful woman on earth, you're not that special or beautiful to other people. And that I think that's something to get real about. Is like I'm not special. If they're telling you how they treat other people, that's how they're gonna treat you, bro.
Yeah.
Like you really need to read in between those lines. Like they are talking about you. In the future, that's gonna be you, baby. People turn so nasty, and I think I was talking to somebody recently about prenups, and I'm like, I think prenups are a great idea because it's basically an agreement that you come up with when you're in love, when you're on good terms with somebody.
Mm-hmm.
When people don't fuck with you, when people are hurt, like as a child of divorce, people turn fucking sour, bro. They will turn into the nastiest versions of themselves. So signing a little prenup, signing something that when you're in love, when you're still in good terms, like that's the best. But if people show you how they are with people when they're nasty, like don't think, oh, I'm special, he's never gonna treat me like that. No, he's not treating you like that right now because he likes you. But what if he didn't like you? That's exactly how you're gonna get treated.
Oh my gosh. So something that's connected to this that I honestly like I saw this TikTok and I had to like put down my phone and go for a fucking walk because it just rattled me to my core. Basically, she found her husband's Reddit and it was so bad. So she was a person of color, her husband was white. He was like playing out slave master fanfic erotica on Reddit with strangers. Okay? And like it was like literally the gnarliest shit. And the whole comment section you'd think was like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened to you. It was literally like hundreds of other women being like, that's why me and my boyfriend broke up. I found his Reddit. Like, and it was like this exact same thing happened to me. And it just got me to think, because she said, I wish I could fucking tag her. I tried to find her again, but I couldn't. She was like, I felt like I didn't know the person because it just like totally wasn't who I thought he was. And I was thinking, I was like, dude, you just know someone that's like the tip of the iceberg, right? So if someone tells you something problematic, or they say something, they're being the best version of themselves when they're saying that thing. And that's just the tip of the iceberg. So if you're already seeing red flags with the best version of that person, it like most likely only gets worse.
Yeah, and God, that comes to another thing. Sometimes you date people that are so fucking vile that it's just embarrassing to be associated with them after. So really, like, really do some detective work, do some digging, don't jump into shit. I would say that I'm usually the one that's like, let's just give it a go. Who knows? Maybe we'll fall in love. Like, I'm a fucking optimist, all right? I love some good potential. Like, the idea of potential, like, really gets me. I'm like, this could be the one. And they turn out to be disgusting. And then I'm like, oh my God. The fact that they literally get to say that they were once privileged enough to get to know me, vile. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be associated with those people at all.
You know, yeah. I was actually reflecting on some of my hoe days, and
we love a good reflection.
You know, I'm going, babes. I'm so deep into therapy and journaling and shadow work. Like, it's coming out the other side, and like obviously, I do regret just getting involved with some shitty people that just like, now I look back on it and I'm like, I could have just skipped that. And that would have been like a pretty big life lesson that I would like to tell other people, is that like, you know, really think about, yeah, this might be hee hee ha ha fun for now, but then that person gets to claim you forever on some level. That you gave them like the time of day.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, like I couldn't even, you know? And so I'm like, I feel like I'm going to stop giving people who really don't deserve it any time of day, okay? Like, I don't know. I think in dating when you're older, at least for me, I feel like the benefit of the doubt, that just kind of goes out the window.
I agree. No more benefits of the doubt.
Yeah. Because I too am an optimist, and I like to see the best in people. And I think that's really great with my interactions with strangers. You know what I'm saying? I don't get road rage because someone cut me off, because I don't know what the fuck they're going through. It was probably an accident. That's probably a good thing to give someone a benefit of the doubt. But then when someone says something problematic and then you give them the benefit of the doubt, and then you're like, fuck, I shouldn't have. I should have listened to that small voice in my head saying that there was something funky going on.
Yeah. And, I mean, there's a lot that has gone into dating as I get older that I am like, wow, this is a new thing. Sometimes you realize you're not all that straight. Sometimes you go all your life thinking, I only like men because it fits into that mold. Like, it's so easy to just like men, and mostly if you're like a feminine person that like obviously has like the privilege to present as a feminine person who just likes men, to never really question that. And then you're like surrounded by all these hideous, horrible people, and you're like, do I only like men? Do I really only like men? Let's maybe further that a little more. Do I have more depth in that? And for me, my new one is my little Gaby adventures of dating older. I don't know if I like it. I think it's more confusing than it was before. I feel like at least I had men a little bit figured out, but women are a whole different feel. Like, I don't even know if you're into me, and you don't want to make them uncomfortable.
Right.
And sometimes I'm like, I don't want to waste your time. There's just a whole new set of things. We could do a whole episode about it later. But
that's why you gotta go to like, I think that's why there's an appeal to like gay bars, is because you're like, all right, okay,
you're here, I'm here.
We know what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually going to one right after this.
I love that for you. We love a good.
It's not for me. It's for my friend. Okay. She's she's had it rough, and it's just time to get back out there, to get it to motion, to get the ball rolling.
I love
all right?
that.
We don't let our girlfriends sit in sadness.
Hell no, baby.
We just go to the gay bar with them, and we heal together.
Is there a theme? Is there going to be good music? There's always good music, but is there a theme tonight?
I have no idea, but this is what I'm wearing. I'm wearing like this little sundress I bought like 3 years ago, and it's the first time I wear it because I'm a goddamn hoarder. But I have vision. See, I love potential. So yes, and we'll see. Maybe I'll have a new crush and infatuation really soon. I know, but we do have a little guide of how to get over crushes and infatuations if you're a lover girl like me, okay? First of all, I want to share some of my new icks because now I have a new set of icks from last episode we did about icks, and I feel like some of these are chef's kiss. First, Alexa. If you have an Alexa, I'm not going to be in your life. I have never been so unattracted to someone when they're yelling at an inanimate object, like, Alexa, stop.
That's
Alexa, volume up.
You know what? It just reminds me too much of Smart House from that Disney Channel original film. So yeah, I've never been about the smart electronics. But I did have someone one time, like, I was, like, talking to Suri, and I was like, hey, thanks, Suri. And someone was like, that's so sweet that you say thank you to inanimate objects. And I was like, oh, I was like, I've never really thought about it. I literally just say thank you to everybody. Suri's real, okay? And I treat her with respect.
Listen, I don't think that's the ick. The ick is more like they're out here getting pressed over, like, Alexa not listening to them. And I'm like, shut up. You sound so ugly. Just get up and turn off the music yourself. Like,
yeah, honestly, any, like, caveman-like behavior, you know, where it's like, like, why are you acting like we don't have, I don't know, AI technology? Like, we're in the future. We don't need to act like cavemen. Like, we can communicate with each other, and we can also do things for ourselves. Like, we're not trying to figure out fire here. We're trying to turn down the volume. Like, just get up and do it.
Exactly. Another one, I think I mentioned this one before, but if I bring wine over and you give it back to me in anything but a goddamn wine glass, I'm out of there. All right. Some man really tried to give me my wine back. It's not that it was nice wine or whatever, but, like, in a solo cup, I look like a solo cup bitch to you.
Not anymore.
Okay. Straight to the garbage. You're out with that solo cup. Straight to the recycle. Goodbye. It's really any type of, like, lack of effort. I'm just, like, at that point where I'm like, are you serious? Like, do you not, are you stupid? Like, do you not see what's in front of you? I'm worth millions.
Yeah. With that, like, lack of effort, I'm super over, like, trying to establish that I'm an independent woman. I'm over it. Like, I am. No. I don't need to try and, like, pay for things to show you I'm independent. No. I'm just gonna be me, and I feel like I should just be treated accordingly. I'm over trying to, like, establish, like, being a dominant, strong woman.
It's not even about independence, I think, with having people pay for something. I think it's just the overall feeling like I want somebody that kind of wants to take care of me. You know what I mean? Like, I want that to be the vibe. I want you to want to treat me because I feel like I have that gene where I want to treat people. But what I have learned in, like, the past, like, I guess, like, almost, like, 2 years of being single and, like, dating is that when you come off, like, at the beginning being like, oh, I'll get this one or I'll pay for half, they almost like just get it as a given. So allowing somebody to just treat you for the first, like, I don't know, everybody's schedule is different. For, like, the first few times that you go out or, like, just seeing how they behave and if they're down to take care of it and if they show that they want to take care of you, I think that's so attractive to me because that just lines up with what I want, you know?
Yes, totally.
Another ick is lack of communication. If you cannot communicate with me, to the garbage. I love to talk. I cannot shut the fuck up, and I cannot keep anything to myself. And if you're not meeting me there, if you're not like at least wanting to check in, if you're not replying to my texts, okay, whatever, I don't care. Like, I would really rather put all that energy and time to myself. Like, if we have a date and you have not reached out to me in like 2 days, in 2 days, I'm not coming. Even if you reach out to me that day. The fuck? Like, communicate. If you're busy, that's fine. But let me fucking know. How am I supposed to know? You know?
Yeah, I think a lack of communication, and then also that feeds back into the lack of effort, because it's like, how much do you really fucking care if you can't even text? And people are like, I had this, this guy that I was dating, and he sent me a long fucking voicemail, which is terrible, right? Like, that's so terrible, voicemails. But basically about like, I've been so busy and I'm so sorry, like, la la la, over it.
I think I'm okay with people being busy.
I just need a
I'm
text
not,
message. Like, you can, like, sending off just a shoot of a text, like, hey, da 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 da, boom, that's a text. Like, it's not really that much effort. I'm a terrible texter,
I
but I
agree.
have, like, I don't know. If they wanted to, they would when it comes to texting.
Yeah, I don't need you to text me all
either.
day. I just need to know where things are at. And then if we have a conversation regarding communication and it happens again and you do not change your behavior, I'm not even going to bother. Like, you've already crossed over into the. I'm not going to block you, but in my mind, you're out. Oh, another one for me is falling into the he's dumb, like, because he's a guy, he's just dumb. Why the fuck would I want to be with somebody that's stupid? Like, you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it's like, well, he's just a guy, he doesn't know. And I'm like, I think I deserve that. Like, I should be with somebody that's like a little bit more intelligent than that.
Also, I have been thinking more and more that, like, like with what's it called? Perceived incompetence. Weaponized incompetence. Yeah. I sometimes feel like some of this thing where people are like, guys are dumb, is like a play. It's just that they have not decided whatever area needs to be. I don't know. Like, I don't think guys are that dumb. I honestly think they're playing into it a little bit because it's an easy out. So I think sometimes when men make mistakes, it's really easy to be like, oh, I'm dumb, I'm dumb. Like, when it's like, no, you're not dumb. You get it. You're a smart guy. You were able to get through 4 years of college. You were able to get a fucking high-paying job. You can definitely understand what's going on here. This is a very simple, basic human topic. This is not rocket science, and I'm pretty, like, I don't know, I'm a pretty understanding person, but I'm also a very clear communicator. So this, like, I'm dumb thing doesn't work for me, and I honestly am believing it less and less, because it just, like, it behooves men for us to all assume that they're making mistakes because out of ignorance, not out of choice.
Exactly. And if they're claiming that, why would you want to be with a bozo anyway? Okay? If he can't compute that on his own, if he wants to go with that, believe him. Be like, oh, so you're stupid. All right, cool. I can't hang with stupid people.
Yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah, totally. My, like, recent icks have been, honestly, icks with other people. I feel like I go onto TikTok and it makes me, like, not want to get married and have a whole bunch of new icks and stuff like that. But I think the biggest one is I feel like I am so much more wary of what people say they like and who they like, and it being a representation of who they are, like I used to just kind of like let people slide when they said they like certain comedians or certain podcasts. Like, I've always been anti Joe Rogan, but now more so than ever, and I'm just, it is what it is. If this is things that they enjoy, it's probably because they agree with the points of view.
Yeah, their friends have problematic ideals, but they don't say those around you. They probably say those around their friends.
Yeah.
So
just, believing, or I guess it is, because it's like, if they're not going to stand up and say, hey, that's messed up, dude, when their guy friend says something, I'm just going to assume they share that view. Because if their friend feels comfortable saying it around them, they feel like they're not going to be challenged.
Period. And if you're infatuated and you're still not seeing it through, and you're trying to calm the fuck down, here's my ultimate tip to calm the fuck down, all right? And this has been as of recent, and it's been 100% effective. So let's say you're hanging out with somebody and you're really, really excited about them, and you're like, oh my god, this person is my soulmate. You need to take a break from seeing this person. I would say maybe a 2 week break. Say you're busy. Go sign up for some class, go hang out with your girlfriends, go on a trip, whatever, and really limit your communication with this person, okay? The perspective then you get when you get away from a situation, you like get to see it from the outside in after your like dopamine levels like go back down and that rush of like, oh my god, he texted me, oh my god, he smells so nice, oh my god, he sent me this or whatever. It's gonna allow you to get some perspective so you can think clearly, okay? This is the real post-not clarity. This is when you're back to your regular life, regular schedule, prioritizing yourself, and you get to look at your interactions with this person, reflect on what this person has been telling you about themselves, and really think. The brain needs to kick in at some point. Like, what have they been telling me about themselves? What have they been telling me about their future, their family, their lifestyle, their goals? Does that shit align with mine? Are his values my values? Or do I just think he's really hot? Or am I stigmatized? Because I have been a victim of that, okay? Sometimes some things are just going really well and I get really excited and I'm like, this is my perfect person, when really we have little to nothing in common based on our values. And the more that you get to know this person, then you grow an attachment, and then just gets you into a little spiral where it doesn't work out, and a year later you're like, yeah, that was never gonna work out. That was never gonna work out from the beginning. I don't even know why the fuck I thought that was gonna work out. But allowing yourself to give that little time off has been a huge thing for me. And then you see them again after these 2 weeks of period of time. And then you can kind of, the interaction is a little different. You either still like them, you either get the ick, or in 2 weeks you're like, actually, I don't really care to see this person again. I think I'm okay. I think I'm okay with where I'm going with my life and what I'm doing, and I don't think I really need to go down this road right now. And that's totally valid too. Sometimes you might actually miss this person, and that's how you know you actually like them. And then you can just reach out, because you have given yourself a little time to reflect, and you have given them a little time to reflect. So if they're still into you, and you're still into them, then maybe you do have a good thing going.
I love that. I think that's actually great advice. 2 weeks is a good amount of time. I feel like, 2 weeks is also a reasonable amount of time to be like, I'm busy for the next 2 weeks on something, and it not be like a, so if you want to keep that door open. I don't know. I'm sure, I was going to say, do you know Ariana Grande? Of course you know Ariana Grande, but in my head, that voicemail that her best friend leaves her, it's like, here's the thing. You're in love with the version of a person that you've created in your head, and you are trying to but cannot fix. You can only fix yourself. I love you. This has gone on for far too long. And I remember listening to when that came out, and I was in a stupid situationship that I should not have been in. It should never have gone on for as long as it did. Should have listened to my friends. Should have seen the writing on the wall. But I remember sitting there listening to that, and I was like, oh my god, yeah, 75% of this is my dreams and aspirations that I have put onto this person that aren't even real.
And those are also big shoes to fill, When you're able to see a person clearly for who they are, and you're willing to accept and love them, and that's it, you gotta get real, all right? Sometimes we're a little optimistic. Mm-hmm. I love him, but he lives in another country. But do you plan on moving? No, out. Is he gonna come here? No, out. At the end of the day, it's just not matching the vibe that it is right now. That doesn't mean that it's not, that people can't change, that it's forever. But I think that living in the present and really staying in the present and just being more secure in the person that who you are, and the fact that you're okay right now without them, and you will be okay without them in the future, but the possibility of them getting involved in your life might actually not be what's best for you. And that kind of sucks, because none of us want to be lonely, okay? I love a single good life, but then every once in a while, I'm like, I miss him. And I'm like, do you really miss him, Bernice? Do you really miss him? Or do you just miss having somebody because it's really different. And when you're lonely, sometimes you romanticize the idea of having somebody when somebody might just not be fit in that bill. And that is okay.
Yeah.
So we're just really focusing right now on like enjoying our time in the present, being single, or even if you're in a weird place with somebody where you're taking a break, just that energy coming back to yourself.
You know, you just said something that I heard in a play by August Wilson, who is an African-American playwright.
We love August
Yes,
Wilson.
I went to see a play, his one-man show. It was actually amazing. I had a great time. But he said in that, and it kind of stuck with me, and he said it's something that his mom said, that something is not always better than nothing. Someone is not always better than no one. Yes. And I was like, ooh, man.
Yeah. Oof, that hit. I just got like if a year ago me could have heard that quote, I would have saved myself a lot of shit.
I literally sat in the theater and I was like, can we pause the play so that I can like sit with this for a second?
Reflect on it.
And like as soon as the play was over, I was like, I'm gonna write that down, because I was like, damn, that is really true. Like I think we always are like, you know, we're okay with little breadcrumbs that people leave us. We're okay with a situationship and not a relationship. You know, we're okay with this person. And it's like, something is not always better than nothing. Maybe nothing would be better. Think about it.
And as a friend, there's nothing more sad than hearing my friend settle. Like, you can see a girl fighting for a situationship to get, like, a title, but then there will be a shift when they go, well, like, I'm kind of okay with the situation. And I just remember hearing one of my friends say that, and I'm like, oh, no. Like, they have convinced you that you no longer, in fact, like, feel like you need, like, this place's security. Like, no. And at the end of the day, we deserve better, and you know what you want, and you don't need to settle for less than that version. Like, you really don't. It's not that crazy. You will find somebody else. There's so many fucking people in this world. And just filling that time with just things that you love to do for you, putting all that love that you put into somebody else on yourself, bitch. Love yourself more than you could ever love somebody else.
Treat yourself.
Treat your friends.
Yeah.
You know, it's like you don't got no husband, no kids. You probably got some good money for giving your friends really good gifts this year.
And taking yourself traveling, you know, I think. And think about, you know, what about being in a relationship is what you want? You know, if you're like, oh, I want to build a life with somebody else. Man, build a life with yourself then until that person comes along. Don't wait for somebody else to start building the life that you want to lead.
Yeah.
Snaps.
Period.
All right, everybody. I'm so excited for springtime. It's almost summertime. And, I'm so excited for everybody. It's dating season, I feel like. It's the time when you break up because it's like you're so ready to be hot girl summer.
It's like all the people that broke up prior to cuffing season in November are now healed and single. So it's like summer flings are up and coming. But just remember to calm the fuck down, okay?
Yeah.
Calm the fuck down. Maybe get a few boyfriends and girlfriends, not just one. Be the bigger picture, experience things with all sorts of people. You don't need to focus on just one right now. Summer just started. Calm down.
You know, nothing's worse than getting into a situationship before summer even happens and then wasting the whole summer being in bullshit.
No, that's the worst. I've done that twice, okay? Don't do as I do. Do as I say. All right, everybody. Well, thanks so much for listening. As always, please subscribe in any platform that you choose. Share this podcast with a homie. And then go follow us on Instagram and TikTok. We're at things number 4, your concern.
And I'm at Ella L. Tudor.
And I'm at Bernice ADS.
See you next week.
Okay,
bye.